You know, I thought about 10 different ways to start this video, and they were all equally bad or cringe. So instead of wasting your time and mumbling some nonsense, let's just dive into it and address the elephant in the room, Ragnarok. Keep in mind that this criticism is going to be exclusively directed at the Final Showdown, the big war. You know, the one the characters in this game wouldn't shut up about. And oh, this video may contain spoilers. Duh. Ragnarok is the most underwhelming war I have ever seen. Let me explain. God of War Ragnarok is the sequel to God of War 2018 and is supposed to be this big finale to the adventures of our beloved Realm Destroyer Kratos and his annoying brat, Atreus. Everything we have seen and done all led to this one moment, the clash between two armies to settle the fate of the world. Though Kratos no longer calls the boy, the characters in this game would seize any opportunity to mention Ragnarok, this inevitable upcoming war. So evidently, I was excited, eager to see absolute mayhem and all-out warfare which would put Avengers Endgame to shame. But instead we got this. And at first, you would assume, well, you got the wrong address. There is just no way it is going to end like this. Especially not after everything we have done. The friends we lost, the foes we defeated over the course of, 20-ish hours of campaign. It just can't be. You know what bothers me? What doesn't make sense at all? Why even bother with recruiting all those people if we weren't even going to see them clash against Asgard? And by the way, this is not a clash, this is something resembling a clash but very far from being, a proper clash. For Christ's sake, we even brought back the Valkyries. We brought back Sigrun, the run-ender, destroyer of controllers. We brought her back and then she never even does anything. The almighty queen has become as useless as Freya. And by the way, listen, I think this one is on us. Anytime someone joins us, they magically forget how to fight. Just picture this, Sigrun against Gnar. Wouldn't that be a great thing to witness? I mean, the game doesn't hesitate to show 4 minutes of long cutscenes in our faces, which by the way are unskippable for now. But when they actually get the opportunity to go big and show us something we may want to watch, like two queens clashing, they just don't do it. Instead, we are told about what is happening. A wise man once said, Ragnarok is what happens while you're busy playing the game. And I just couldn't agree more. We rallied all those people, the elves, the Valkyries, the undying forces of Helheim. We even went all the way to Muspelheim to recruit Surtur, or whatever his name is. And then he goes, it is Ragnaroking time. But then he barely shows up. How do you even hide something this big? How? Do you remember how Odin reacted to being told the prophecy and everything he believed was just a made-up lie? My man was just crushed, unable to process what has just transpired. And I kid you not, I had the exact reaction when it was finally time for Ragnarok. I blew got a horn and was ready to witness the strength of street knowledge. But we were all bamboozled and it hurts. Keep in mind that this could potentially be the last time we will ever get to play as Kratos. And this is how we're going to go out? Like really? Come on. Actually, you know what? Let me use this opportunity to get something else off my chest. The Final Showdown, the final fight against Odin sucks. Don't get me wrong, Odin as a character is amazing. He is the embodiment of villainy, a walking menace, and also a pretty great cook. I'm going to go as far as say that he's probably the best villain in the entire God of War series. But as a final boss, he is just terrible. It almost feels like he doesn't belong here, as if he would be a better fit in a Harry Potter game, like Hogwarts Legacy, but not in God of War. Remember the last fights we had? We went against our own father Zeus in an epic 30 minutes brawl. Then it was against Boulder. Mr. I can't feel any of this. And you know what? The fight against Thor was so much better than Odin's. First of all, you were alone, with nobody around you to tell you to use your shield strike, even though you had been doing that one thing for the last 20 hours. Then Thor is actually in your face. Most of the fight. It is intense and faithful to what God of War stands for. And then all of a sudden, you are fighting bold Dumbledore in a very underwhelming fight after an already underwhelming war. And guess what? You get to see the aftermath. Asgard is destroyed, and everybody is telling you about how great of a leader you are, how great of a general you are. My only problem is, what do you mean? What war? What leader? It isn't. I'm not a leader because I had nothing to lead. There was no war. There was something which resembles a war, but what war? What do you mean? And those Valkyries, those useless Valkyries, acting like they own the place. You know what? I wouldn't mind killing them all over again, since they just remained hidden for the entirety of the war. Like seriously, is this going to be the way it ends? I don't believe it. It just can't be. I refuse to believe that this is the last we're going to hear about Kratos. I mean, potentially. And I would like to know about your opinion. What do you think about Ragnarok? Again, this is not about the game itself. It's about the way it ended. You know, Ragnarok. It took 8 years. No. Yeah, if you actually count the development time for God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, it's like 8 years. After 8 years, this is this is what we get. After 8 years, where is the war? Why even bother with all this build-up? It just ends up being nothing. So underwhelming. Anyway, I'm Jisoo, and I had to get this off my chest because I've been sleeping on it, and now I can finally just go to bed and feel like I can finally sleep well. And I would definitely like to know about your opinion. Again, just stay focused on what I'm asking here. I'm asking about the Final Showdown. It's very important because people tend to just get confused. I'm not talking about the game as a whole. That is going to be for another video. I'm just talking about the war, the Valkyries, Odin, Thor, Surtur, the War Serpent, whatever their names are. Just let me know how you felt or how you feel about the war. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Peace.